But I feel as though before we continue and go into 2024, we just need to circle back. We just need to touch on 2023 briefly. Well, maybe not too briefly, but briefly. Because I feel like it sets the tone, like moving forward. I feel like it's the one that informs our goals. I feel like it's the one that's just like, do I want to do that again, or do I not want to do that again? Do I want to learn from that, or do I want to improve, or are we just going to pretend it never happened? And that's completely. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. I hope you guys are looking forward to 2024. I definitely know that I am. I feel like 2023 showed us flames. Well, I personally know that it definitely showed me flames. I feel like the whole entire year was challenging. And I guess what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I think that is just going to be the running quote that I'm just going to have to take it and run with it for the rest of my life, because if I made it through 2023, I'm pretty sure I can make it through any other part of my life, because 2023 was a challenging year. But anyway, Happy New Year. I honestly wish and hope that 2024 brings you all your dreams, your goals, and all that your heart desires. And just holistically, I hope everyone gets to elevate and be beautiful individuals, professionally, work-wise, as a family person, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister. I hope, this year is just really the year of elevation, and financially as well. We cannot forget about the finances. But yeah, so Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I feel like we can all say Happy New Year until February comes. So I'm still within my window of saying Happy New Year. It's the 19th of Jan, guys. So yeah. But before we talk about 2024, before we talk about our goals, I feel like we just need to quickly circle back. We need to circle back to 2023, because that hand showed me flames. So if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Danica Mukasa, and I moved back to London last year in March 2023. And one of the reasons why I moved back, I was basically living in South Africa for 5 years. It was great, it was amazing. There was nothing in me that thought I'd move back until 2023. A lot of my decision making was just basically based on finance, guys. That's literally the crux of it. It was nothing related to umgo or anything hectic that happened in South Africa, but it was just honestly related to financial situation, where I was just like, you know what, I don't need to go through this every other month. Let me just go back to London, break and build again, literally. And so far it's worked, but I think it's working because the challenges that we had last year were honestly just a lot. They were really, really a lot. So to give you guys context, for my newbies and for my subscribers, moved to London last year in March, and I did this to mostly protect myself. It had nothing to do with anyone else. So a lot of the time when people would ask, do you have a job? I said yes. But the truth was, I did not have a job. No, I didn't. I was looking, and I was looking hard. I was looking so hard. So the reality of it, a lot of people kept on asking me, do you have a job? Do you have a job? And I didn't have a job. And the reason why I told them, yes, I got a job, was because I was not prepared to delve into the conversation of, oh my goodness, what are you going to do when you get there? Oh my goodness, are you not scared? Oh my God, really? How long is it going to take to get a job? All these questions. I wasn't ready for it because I was already in panic mode myself. So the last thing that I needed was for someone else and for people to project their fears on me, because believe you me, if anyone feared moving to London, it was me. And it was mostly because I knew that getting a job here wasn't going to be easy, but I did not think nor foresee it would have been as difficult as what I experienced, because wow. So a lot of the time it was to protect myself, and it was just like, you know what, if I'm stressing about this internally, I don't need the outside world to project and to put got more fear in me because it's just too much. So I moved back to London without a job. Thankfully, my mom was actually helping me with, keeping up to date with my South African payments. So I have an amazing support system. I honestly do. And I know if I had told people that, I haven't got a job that side, they would have been concerned, and it really would have come from a good place. But I was just like, let me navigate this mentally by myself. And once I've navigated it mentally by myself and I can make sense of everything, then I can let you into my world. And I am an individual like that. Sometimes I don't like to talk about things because I don't understand it myself. I don't have the necessary words to vocalize or express how I feel. So it just makes sense for me to collect my thoughts to myself. Once I've digested and I understand what's going on, then I will bring you in. I will let you in. So I moved to London in 2023 March, and I had been looking for a job since 2022. I started looking for a job actually in June of 2022, but it wasn't as hard as the last 3 months of 2022 going into 2023. Guys, I can't tell you how many job interviews I had. I cannot. And I was really of the firm belief that because I had 5 years experience in South Africa in the marketing and advertising industry, I was going to get something like this. I was just like, yes, I moved to South Africa, got the experience that I needed. Why am I gonna struggle? Why must I struggle? Why must I want problems? But to my surprise, I struggled. And I struggled for a very long time. I struggled to get a job, specifically a corporate job, and specifically in advertising and marketing. Guys, can we just talk about the emotional toll of going to interviews, preparing for interviews, getting rejected or getting ghosted by recruiters, or getting feedback where you're just like, no sis, I definitely know I met and surpassed the criteria. Maybe I just wasn't a good fit for the culture, but I definitely know I answered those questions down to the T. And what supports me is the experience that I have, because Lord knows all the organizations that I worked for in South Africa were top notch. The people who I was working with were the best in their game. And I don't say that arrogantly, but I honestly say that I was honestly surrounded by people who really knew their stuff through in, throughout. They could do what they do in their sleep. So I think a good thing about me that I had done before I moved to London, I told myself, do you know what, I don't mind going back to Starbucks if push comes to shove, guys. And I feel like that's something that we all need to equip ourselves with. If you're not getting a job in your desired industry that you want to, just go do something else for the meantime. Just go do something else. If it means cleaning, if it means working in McDonald's or whatever, just do it. It's paying the bills. And my mom always says to me, Mamela, imali ka ipuma kwi account iyafana. When money comes out of the bank, it's the same. So I'd always tell myself, you know, if push comes to shove and I really struggle to get a job in advertising, marketing, Starbucks is my hand. I'm gonna go back to her. She treated me real good when I was 16, 17, 18, 20 somethings, and she's gonna treat me good now. Couldn't find it, guys. It was such an emotional toll. Like my self-esteem, what is that? My confidence, what does that even mean? Everything was just, I had hit a new time, high time, low. Simply because the rejection was just a lot. It really, really was a lot. And then I was just like, you know what, let me call my girl, my ex-manager who, she still works in Starbucks. And I was just like, you know what, let me call her and ask her, girl, I need your help. Lo and behold, we thank God. She was just like, you know what, there's actually a store in Vauxhall that has vacancies. Hit them up. Give them a call. The long and short, I literally went for the interview on a Wednesday. And I remember the lady was just like, oh, you can come back for training on Friday. I was just like, no sis, we gonna do this training today because I need this job. And I think that was actually on the 4th of May last year. Guys, I had my interview that same day. I went on shift that very same day. I've worked in Starbucks, so I know how to make the coffees. I know how many shots. I know, like, for me, it was just light work. Got the job that very same day. I think I started my first shift on the Friday, and I was just like, do you know what, God, if this is you saying, sis, just Mamelela, your job, I was willing to do that. So I worked in Starbucks. For a total of about May, June, July, August, September, November, December. For a total of 7 months, and honestly, again, it also played with my confidence, because the thing of where Sana, I've been a corporate hand this whole entire time. Jani But for me, and did I care what people think? Yes, guys, I definitely cared what people thought. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely cared, and I think those are some of the things that actually end up crippling us, because we're always caring what people think about us. And to be quite honest, they don't care. They honestly just don't care. But because we live in a society where, you know, the conventional way is, or rather the traditional way is, go to university, okay, you know, go to high school, after high school you go to university, after university you get a good job, after a good job you get married. And Danica was doing it the other way. Danica had moved to South Africa, got a good job, worked in advertising and marketing, you know, lived the office life. It was great, it was amazing. Then we now need to circle back to going to Starbucks. So I think it was also a thing of where I had this great and amazing life in South Africa, where I was working in these fantastic organizations, these huge offices, computer, laptop, this and this and this. And now we go back to Starbucks. But I was just like, do you know what? It's okay. I can pay my bills. I can take the burden off my mom, and I can just be the independent hand that I want to be. So whilst I was working in Starbucks, I was still looking for a corporate job. Thank God, eventually I landed a job. And it was something that was actually not in advertising and marketing, but rather it was in public relations. Got a job in public relations, specifically in property. I'm not gonna lie, the properties that I saw, guys, people have money. Like, wow, people really have money. Unfortunately, when it came to my probation, I wasn't kept on at the end, and I saw it coming, to be honest. Guys, I come from a creative industry, advertising and marketing, working with influencers, writing very short snippets of copy, writing, reporting, analyzing the numbers, you know, working on campaigns, all that type of stuff. So sitting and writing a press release for properties, no. It was just not up my alley, and I saw it coming, but it was just one of those, I did not want to let go of this income. I didn't want to let go of not knowing what's going to happen next. But sometimes God is just going to remove you abruptly, and that's what happened to me. Again, that really played a huge toll on my mental health, and I just kept on questioning myself, if I can't hold a job down, what can I hold down? Like, honestly speaking, what can I hold down, guys? And it was my first time in my whole entire career to be told, sis, no, this ain't working. Like, you are fantastic, you're a lovely person, we love your energy, we love everything about you, but this is just not working. And I was just like, okay, I have never packed myself so quickly in my life. And I left. But hey, we're still here, we're thriving, we're flourishing, and we thank God. So now, thank God, I didn't leave Starbucks when I got my corporate job. So in a nutshell, I was doing 2 jobs at the same time. It was not cute, but hey, God gave me the energy. I was able to pay my bills in South Africa. I was able to enter Umgalelo. It was just great. It was great, guys. It was great. So I was just like, God, at least send on 7 job. So and coffees did we make. So I worked at Starbucks, and I was still looking for a job, but now it's just like just throwing my CV here, there, everywhere, here, there, everywhere. You know, I was just having fun with it. What I actually do, I'll get into another day, because it's a lot. It's really a lot. But the long and short of it is basically transportation, logistics, and delivering stuff. it's nothing hectic, but it was hectic for me at the time because this is a completely different industry that I've never been in, that I had no business to even care about. But when God gives you something and he says go, you best run with it, because damn did I run with it, and not doing too badly. So holistically last year, guys, was just challenging. And I also put an offer on a house that got rejected. 2023 was a lot. 2023 was a lot, guys. When I think of it, it really was a lot. I put an offer on a house that got rejected, and that also sent me down a rabbit hole where I was just like, shoot me now, honestly, shoot me now. But we've touched on 2023. Let's touch on 2024. And let me tell you guys, everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video are all learnings from 2023, and it's genuinely stuff that I'm that I'm already actually actively fixing. So 2023 was a lot. Please do comment, like, and subscribe to this video. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. 2023 was a lot, but now let's talk about 2024. So we are now in 2024. We have, starting on a new canvas. The page is white, the page is beautiful, it's clean. We're no longer talking to that hand 2023, but we thank her for all her learnings and her challenges, because she has made us stronger. So 2024, guys, I'm really excited for 2024 in general. I honestly feel like 2023 did make me a stronger individual. I overcame the challenges that God was serving to me. God was locked and loaded, and he was like douche. But I'm really ready for 2024. I'm looking forward to everything, and for the first time I put a pen to paper and I wrote my goals down. Okay, y'all can see, but I wrote my goals down. But how I actually approached this, I basically wrote them down in increments of 4. So I broke the year into 3 months. I was just like, okay, doing this is a lot. So I honestly just wrote down goals that are realistic for me, things that I know that I can do, and things that are personally in my control. So just to give you guys context, and this is actually the purpose of this video. Late last year, if you guys actually watch, I think it was my last video, if you guys watch my last video, I talk about my credit score, changing my financial situation, so on and so forth. I will link it in the description box below, just so that you guys can watch it. But I've become obsessed with monitoring my credit score and also monitoring my finances and just putting myself in a better financial place. Guys, I don't come from a financial background. I'm not a financial service provider. I have no clue how these things work, so I am learning on the job. And I wish this is information that I would have enlightened myself with years ago. But hey, I think those things happen for a reason. So basically last year I had and also never ever leave me to my devices at all, because you'll come back and Utenika has put an offer on a home. And that is exactly what I did. I was at home this one day and I was just like, my credit score is thriving. My credit score is 619. My bills are up to date. I don't have anything in arrears. Why not? So I was looking for houses, and I really want to buy a house, guys. Like, I really want to buy a house. I was looking for houses. I was looking in Bloemfontein, and I came across a super cute gem. And I was just like, oh, 1.2 million, cute, small. It's within a very close proximity of the university. So I was just like, okay, can buy this house, rent it out to students, $6,000. And also financially, I was just like, we can do this, But God had another agenda for me. He had other plans. So, and again, I'm not a financial service provider. I have nothing to do with banks, but these were just my learning. This was my learning throughout the whole entire process. Got in touch with the agent. So I was looking on Property 24. Got in touch with the agent, and I was just like, listen, I'm really interested in this property. I currently reside in London. What do you need? I'd love to put an offer on this house. The guy was so helpful. He was just like, oh yeah, great, okay, cool. Do you want to do a viewing? I asked a cousin of mine, childhood friend, same thing, to go and do the viewing. She was just like, of course, Mdasa, I'll help you. Baby girl went, did the viewing in less than 30 minutes. I was just like, yes, definitely, I love this place. I put an offer through. After putting an offer through, the agent got in touch with the landlord, and I was just like, oh, I have someone who'd like to buy the property. So also, please don't quote me. This is just my journey, and I might miss some steps. So if I miss steps, soz. Then they were just like, okay, cool. You're gonna have to send us a few documents. I had to send my South African ID, my pay slips, my bank statements, my contracts of work, and I think my UK passport as well, and South African passport. So I was just like, yeah, cool, no problem. Shot send. And then so there's a process where the agent has to let the landlord know how much you're offering. So I received something called an offer to purchase. So the landlord had accepted my offer to purchase. I think I had offered 1.2 mil. I think it was 1.2 mil, and she accepted. So I was just like, oh my god, am I going to be a babe that has a house before 2023? God, really? And honestly, guys, I did not see any red flags coming through because I was stalking my credit report every single time. So, and I'm actually going to put I'm actually going to insert my credit score profile just so that you guys can see it and you can know what it looks like, and you can know what to look out for should you guys decide to want to put an offer on a house, a car, or whatever that's of high value and you need that additional money from the bank. So for me, I did not see the red flags. However, before I had put the offer on the house, I had like this weird email that had come through from this very suspicious, shady email address saying I owe money. So I was just like, what do you mean I owe money? Are you mad? I have paid my bills, they are up to date. So they were just like, oh, you owe Absa money, it's 1,400 and something. I was just like, I don't even bank with Absa, guys. I only bank with Standard Bank. And I'd recently opened an Absa account in January because my mother wanted to send me money. And they said that the quickest way to do it is if I open an Absa account. So Mama and I were just like, okay, it's fine, let's just quickly do it. And there was money in the account. Little did I know, I can't remember what type of account it was, but you constantly have to put money in it because the money that I had put was basically now null and void. So I think the bank charges Apple, you pay like 200 and something rand, and I think I had like 1.5 or 2 point something in the account, but it had obviously perished. Guys, basically Absa was taking me to the lawyers saying I haven't paid. So, and I was really against this, and I honestly thought it was fraud. They went to my auntie's house because when I'd opened the account, I basically opened it under my aunt. I used my auntie's address because that's where I was staying. And I was just like to my auntie, please don't believe those people. I don't have anything to do with it. I only bank with Standard Bank. And because I'd responded to the email, I said to them, can you guys please give me more information about this? They didn't. So I was just like, I don't owe anything. Anyways, guys, so now I'm in my process of buying my house, and then they just like red flag, Indoka Absa is not paid. And I was just like, what? And then my vehicle finance is not paid. So I was like, what? Guys, and I was also starting a new job. Honestly, I serve a living God. If I could tell you guys the amount of stress that I was under in the month of October. Imagine you're at work and you're having to submit papers of trying to buy a house. But at the same time, you have people saying, there's a red flag here, do you know something about this, there's this here. And banks, guys, they do thorough investigation. They go through that shit with a fine-tooth comb. So if there is something that you haven't paid, or if there is something that you're not sure about, listen, interrogate your credit report. Get in touch with Better Bond, because those are some of the things that I've actually done now to make sure that I'm setting myself up for success when I put my second offer in. I'm not getting rejected at all. It's not happening. But I thank God in hindsight, because these are things I genuinely had no idea about. By the way, the vehicle asset was like in areas of 14 cents or something ridiculous like that. So my vehicle asset goes up every single month, and I think it's because of the inflation or whatever that's currently happening at the moment. I don't know what the financial term is, but it was just, guys, it was small things that didn't need to go unnoticed, but they did. And I thank God, because that actually gave me additional time to really get my ducks in a row. Also, just so you guys know, I don't really have much knowledge of this, but just take it and run with it. Should you put an offer on a house and they start the process and the brokers start getting in touch with you and the lawyers, this and this and this, you cannot back out. You cannot. You actually have to wait for the bank to reject you and be like, sis, no, it's not gonna work. You can't actually pull out. If you pull out, you get charged a fine. I don't know how much the fine is. My mom mentioned it to me. So yeah, unfortunately, my broker was like, Danica, let's try again next time, my darling. She was such a lovely lady. She was like, my darling, let's try next time. She was Afrikaans. She was like, let's try next time. You have a good credit report. Listen, it's nothing that's hectic, but let's try next time. Just work on fixing these things. Fix this thing with ABSA. Fix the vehicle asset finance that you need to do, and let's just work on this in the next 6 to 7 months, because you cannot apply for credit frequently at the banks, especially when it's large amounts of money, guys. You can only do it every 6 months. So you basically need to have no red flags, literally none. So my battery's dying. Let me try to talk this through. So anyways, I've now set myself up for success. I really have. And the long and short of it, what I've done is I basically entered umgalelo. So umgalelo, for those of you guys who don't know, and I don't know an English term for it, Stokvel? I don't know. But basically what I've done is I've entered something called umgalelo. So umgalelo, there's 6 of us, including myself. So we all contribute money at the end of every single month. So we contribute 10,000 Rand, meaning each individual on that particular month gets 50k. If you decide to also pay yourself, you'd obviously get 60k. So I was just like, do you know what? I've learned from this. Let us get our ducks in a row. I entered umgalelo last year in October when I was going through the most. But hey, whilst you're planting, there are really some things that really work in your favor. So I was just like, I need to commit to something. And it's also going to give me a purpose of wanting to work, so on and so forth. So I entered umgalelo in the midst of, job havoc and whatever. And I was just like, I'm going to commit to this and I'm going to see this through. Every single month, I sent 10,000 Rand to whoever's turn it was, and this month is my turn, so I'm so happy. So I told myself, okay, I have a credit card, I have a loan, I want to pay my credit card off, and I want to pay my loan off, and those are one of my goals for the first quarter of the year. So I was just like, the money that I'm getting from umgalelo, I'm actually going to use it to pay my credit card and my loan. This is also with the intention that when I put an offer on my house within the next 6 to 8 months, it's going to get approved, because that would also mean that the only thing that I now have under my name is my car and Wi-Fi that I'm paying for back home, which is okay. It's nothing detrimental, but it's also manageable, and it will also help to increase my credit score. Guys, I'm actually going to put my profile here, because I think it's so important for us to have these conversations of finances. How do you improve your credit score? What needs to be there and what doesn't need to be there, and are there birds that you can quickly shoot down? Can you shoot 2 birds with 1 stone? So on and so forth. So another thing that I did last week, actually, I got in touch with Better Bond. Also, this isn't a paid video, guys. This is honestly just me sharing my learnings with you. And it's learnings where I don't feel like you guys need to make the mistakes that I made, but these weren't intentional mistakes. These were honestly mistakes that were made in real time. I didn't know about it. So I got in touch with Better Bond, and I was just like, listen, I'm looking to put an offer on a house within the next few months, but I really need your guys' help in, you know, giving me a pre-approval. What do I need to fix on my profile? Please let me know. This guy was amazing. Like, he was really, really amazing. He was just like, Danica, you have a good credit score, but we need to wait a few months because I think you might have put an offer on something else before. So banks actually ask people to give it about, you know, 6 months to a year before they can put an offer on something else. So let's work on your credit profile and get in touch with us again within the next 6 months or so for us to have a look at how much you'd afford, so on and so forth. So with Better Bond, they obviously have further eyes, and I use the word further eyes loosely because they're able to see, you know, in the background what else is happening beyond your credit score. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. Some of the mistakes that we make, they're actually learnings rather than mistakes. And for me, I'm really, really grateful that it's a house that I wanted, but I wouldn't say I was extremely gutted. I was sad because it was rejection. How much rejection does one need to be able to live? Because last year it just felt like it was a year of rejection in all spheres of my life. It honestly just felt like it was a year of rejection. But we're turning that around this year. So now I've entered Umgalelo. With the intention of obviously saving up for my deposit for my house. Hopefully I get 100%. So when they say 100%, that basically means I don't need money for a deposit, but nonetheless I'm still saving up for the deposit. I'm buying small furniture pieces here and there so that by the time I get my house, there's like small furniture, maybe a couch or 2. But yeah, guys, I'm honestly really, really looking forward to 2023. I hope this video isn't going to be too long, but I think it's at least about 45 to 30, maybe an hour long. But I'm really, really looking forward to 2024. I've written my goals down for this year. One of the things that I also really want to achieve is to create more content. But, you know, it's really content that I wanted to be educational, to inspire, and to motivate you guys to, you know, not have to go through some of the mistakes that we go through, especially when it comes to finances. Finances is just tricky, Lando. It can really throw you off. It can really, really throw you off. But I'm really looking forward to 2024. I'm going to Uganda, by the way, at the end of this month. I intend on posting this video before the end of January because it will still be within the Happy New Year. But yeah, guys, I'm really, really looking forward to this video. I'll obviously give you guys as much information in the description box below if I feel as though I've missed some things out. But I honestly wish you guys a happy new year. I wish all the things that you guys want to achieve during this year, may you achieve them in terms of relationships, in terms of work, in terms of bettering yourself, elevating yourself holistically, being a better version of yourself. I really, really wish you guys all the best. And let's catch up on social media platforms. So I am going to Uganda at the end of this month. For those of you who don't know, I'm half Uganda. Not that I promoted much, and it's because unfortunately my dad passed away when I was young, so I don't really know much about the country. But I'm going to Uganda at the end of this month, and I'm really looking forward to it. So please do follow me on Instagram because that's where I'm mainly going to be posting. I'd say Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm probably not going to post on those platforms, but I am an Instagram fan. So definitely follow me on Instagram. And yeah, all the best for 2024. I'm really looking forward to this year. And guys, let's make it a good one. Let's make it a good one. But anyway, I do hope you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, so I thought it would make sense if I just dedicated a singular page to show you guys my credit score profile. So as you can see, it has been personalized to myself, and I am Danica, and it also obviously tells me what my credit score is out of 740, and you can also see that green line, well, rather the green arrow over there, that tells you how much my credit score has increased by, which is, for me, increased by 2. I don't think that's anything groundbreaking, but I think, as indicated on the report, I am on good ground. But obviously, preferably, we want to be sitting at 740. So for an example, if you just look further down on the report, it also says, your report is my report is stable, and there are 3 improvements that I obviously have to do in order to make sure that my credit score continues to increase. So overall, I don't think clear score profiling is something that's difficult to understand. I think it's very easily digestible, and also it actually tells you where you need to improve on. So for an example, if you might have missed a direct debit, it will obviously indicate that on your report. If you just look at the second one, so this is a breakdown of my personal profile, as I've said, and I just decided to give you guys a show of an example what I'm currently paying. So for an example, as I mentioned before in the video, some of the things that I really wanted to pay off is my loan and my credit card. You can't see my credit card here, but for an example, my loan is currently sitting at 17,846. So I really want to pay that off before I make an offer on my house. In terms of how I go on about paying my loan and my credit card, I'll also share that information with you guys, because I think it's so interesting in terms of, is there a settlement letter that you can get that you can possibly pay less than the 17k, and if so, how do you go on about that? So as soon as I pay my loan and credit card, I'll definitely share a video or 2 informing you guys how I paid it off, what documents I needed, and if I was able to get a discounted price, because I would have obviously been paying the whole amount in one rather than paying it in installments. So again, this is a personal profile, so it's not going to look the same for all of us, but it literally gives you a breakdown of the accounts that you have. So as I've mentioned before, I have a loan with Standard Bank and a credit card, and also my car insurance is currently with MyWay, and I also have Wi-Fi with Vodacom. And last but not least, you can see over here in terms of my payment history. This is embarrassing, but hey, we're gonna share it anyway, and we all have to learn from somewhere. So I moved to South Africa in 2018, and I didn't actually have anything that was on account. So basically I was just Danica with no financial attachments to anything. But obviously, as you can see, then in 2019 it started to build, because if I'm correct, that was when I bought my fridge, which was on account. So as indicated, as per the, I can't remember what these things are called, but if for an example, if you're on time, it's black. If you've missed the payment, it's pink. However, I can't stress enough that this isn't always the case. Just because it's pink, it doesn't mean that you didn't go back and pay it. In my case, sometimes, yes, it wasn't paid because the bank might have got there and there just wasn't any money. It happens. And sometimes it's a thing of where I probably transferred money from a different account, and when the bank got there wasn't any money, so I had to send money to that account to make sure that the debit does eventually go through. So one of my goals for this year is to make sure that 2024 is all blacked out, indicating that no payment has been missed. We have met all the deadlines. As I've mentioned before, guys, I feel like this is easy, light work, and we can all do it, but it's just one of those where we need to spend a little bit more time with subject matters that we're not necessarily clued up on. And for myself personally, when it comes to finance, I honestly wouldn't say I am the guru and I know everything, but I can definitely tell you that the needle is moving and I am going into the right direction, because I'm actively educating myself about my credit score, interest rates, what does it look like to have a good credit score, what are the impacts. But I think that's just the light work of it. I'm in a process of educating myself about the deeper, granular details of finance, and I will share that with you guys as and when that information becomes apparent to me. But I hope this helps.